Alright, this video is a bonus video. It doesn't go specifically alongside a worksheet or a lesson, but it's kind of a continuation of what we did in our last video, which was how to add and subtract mixed numbers and fractions with unlike denominators. I showed you how to find the common denominator in the last video by multiplying the two denominators together to get a multiple for your new denominator. So we did 9 times 8 is 72. That's the easiest way to find the common denominator, and you are more than welcome to do that. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the least common denominator. Okay, what is the smallest number that they have in common? And we're going to start by looking at what are called multiples. Okay, so here's our example problem that we're going to work with. We have 2/5 plus 3/10, and I have a multiplication chart here on the side to help us out. Let's start by defining what multiples are. Okay, so you all know what factors are because we've done factor trees. Okay, so if I were to say factors of 30, you would say, oh, okay, well, 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. So my factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. They are the numbers that when multiplied together equal 30. Those are factors. Multiples are your fact families. Okay, so it would be 30 times 1 equals 30. 30 times 2 equals 60. 30 times 3 equals 90. 30 times 4 equals 120, and so on. So all of these numbers here are what we would call multiples because you multiplied by 30 to get to them. Okay, so they are all multiples of 30. Do you see the difference? 30 is one of the factors that equals these numbers. Okay, when we're working with least common denominator, we are looking for the smallest multiple that numbers have in common. Let's go back to our problem here. So we have 5 and 10, and we want to find a common denominator between them. Okay, so we can use our multiplication chart here, and we can look for 5, and we start going 5, 10, 15, 20. But we already ran into the number 10. 5 and 10, and then 10 times 1 is 10. So your smallest common denominator, or least common multiple, least common denominator, both the same thing, between 5 and 10 is 10. So our fraction here on the right is not going to change at all. The second fraction, because we didn't change the denominator. The first one, how did I get to 10? I multiplied by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Multiply by the top and the bottom. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Your denominator does not change. Okay? Now, let me show you the difference here. Because you could have done this. 2/5 plus 3/10. You could have multiplied and gotten 50. Okay, because here we multiplied by 5, here we multiplied by 10. And then you would have had 35 over 50, and now you have to reduce. So you can divide by 5, which gives you 7/10. Same answer, but we saved ourselves a step. Okay? If that confused you, please stick to using the easiest common denominator. If this makes sense to you, by all means save yourself a step and do this. Let's look at a mixed number example really quickly. So we have 9 and 3/5 plus 1/2. Okay? So remember, we're going to change this into an improper fraction. 5 times 9 is 45 plus 3 gives us 48 over 5 plus 1/2. Okay, between 5 and 2 you can start listing multiples. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20 for 2, 2 times 1 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 is my common denominator. Now, I want you to realize something. I could have kept going. And I would have gotten to 20. But 20 is not the smallest number they have in common. 10 is. So we're going to stick with 10. Okay, so here I had to multiply by 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. So here I have 5/10. 48 times 2 is 96. Keep your denominator the same. 96 plus 5 is 101. And you want to change 101/10 into a mixed number. So your final answer is 10 and 1/10. Okay. Alright. Hope this kind of helps you find the least common denominator. Again, if it makes more sense to you to just multiply the bottoms and work from there and then simplify, by all means do whatever is easiest for you and whatever will help you save the most time and work towards the correct answer. Let me know if you have any questions.